You see the left do this routinely, redefining terms, and it's really perverse. Well, now their new move is to redefine the term court packing. So for several months now, we have been talking about the fact that during the Democratic primaries, many of the candidates talked about packing the court, even before RBG died. Then RBG died, and it became a rote talking point for many Democrats that they would look at packing the court if they gained control of the Senate. Now, this isn't really as much of a threat to Biden as it is to various Senate candidates. The truth is, Biden's refusal to denounce court packing is not going to hurt Biden very much because the vote for Biden is really not about Biden. It's really about Trump. But it could hurt the Democrats down ballot. It could hurt the Democrats in the Senate because those races are very, very closely fought. There's the significant possibility right now, and I think I'd probably put my money on this, that Joe Biden is leading in the presidential race, but in the Senate, Republicans hold the Senate because the Democrats have gotten so radical on this issue. So instead, they've decided to completely redefine the term court packing, and the media are going along with this completely. Donald Trump, over the weekend, he correctly pointed out that the radical left Democrats are pushing Joe Biden to pack the Supreme Court. So President Trump tweeted, FDR's own party told him you cannot pack the United States Supreme Court. It would permanently destroy the court. But now the radical left Democrats are pushing Biden to do this. He has zero chance against them. And Biden so far has not really stood up to the radical left. This is why, and this does undercut Biden's chief message. It may not matter, but it does undercut his chief message. Remember, Joe Biden is, I am a stolid moderate. I'm a person who's going to stand up against the predations of the radical left. I'm a return to normalcy. Then why in the world is Joe Biden so hesitant to condemn court packing, which is a fundamental change to the nature of the republic? The minute that you have a court that is openly political, people just stop paying attention to the court. The minute that you have a Senate that has been packed, filled with Democrats from new states, and then pushing forward a packed court, and then pushing forward any legislation to the far left, the American people and various states are just going to say, I'm not paying attention to that. You've now rigged the system, like truly rigged the system. And Joe Biden is not standing up to that, which is an amazing thing. For a guy who is campaigning as Captain Return to Normalcy, back to moderation, back to the future, right, then that's a weird take. It's a weird take from Joe Biden. So over the weekend, here was Joe Biden trying to redefine the term court packing. So this has been his consistent message. Last week, Joe Biden said that he would tell you about court packing after the election. He just simply refused to answer a question on whether he would go along with packing the court. Here was Biden last week in Arizona.
They'll know my opinion of court packing when the election is over. Now look, I know it's a great question, y'all, and I don't blame you for asking it. But you know, the moment I answer that question, the headline in every one of your papers will be about that. Other than focusing on what's happening now.
Okay, that was him just last week. Okay, then over the weekend, Biden was asked about all of this. Okay, and this is clip 5. He's specifically asked whether voters deserve to hear an answer on court packing. And Biden's like, nope, they don't deserve to hear an answer. This man has nothing but scorn for the American voter and scorn for American journalists. He does not care about answering the questions, Joe Biden. He's a lifelong politician. He's never had to answer hard questions. When he has had to answer hard questions, it's gone poorly for him. So his entire campaign is now going to be, I don't exist. I'm not going to answer questions because if I answer questions, you might write about me. And I want you to write about Donald Trump. And he's openly saying this to the media. And so the media, like the good little lapdogs they are simply reflecting it back at him. It's incredible. It's incredible. Watch. Here he is, openly saying voters do not deserve an answer on whether he's going to wreck the third branch of government.
Sir, I've got to ask you about packing the courts. And I know that You said yesterday you aren't going to answer the question until after the election. But this is the number one thing that I've been asked about from viewers in the past couple of days.
Well, you've been asked by the viewers who are probably Republicans who don't want me continuing to talk about what they're doing to the court right now.
Well, sir, don't the voters deserve to know?
No, they don't. I'm not going to play his game. He'd love me to talk about, and I've already said something on court packing. He'd love that to be the discussion instead of what he's doing now.
Okay, that is the most absurd answer in the world. No, voters don't deserve to know where I stand on wrecking the third branch of government because I want you to talk about Donald Trump. He's literally just giving instructions to the media. Don't cover this question. Instead, I want you to cover Trump, so I'm not going to give you an answer. Okay, and then Joe Biden lays out the narrative that has become immediately the rote narrative for the entire Democratic Party and many members of the media. And it's unbelievable how everything switched on a dime. Okay, he decides that he's going to lay out a narrative whereby the term court packing itself no longer means that you pack the court with extra seats from people of your political persuasion. Instead, court packing now means legally filling the seats that are empty with people who are duly nominated and confirmed. I'm not kidding. This is his actual case. Now, the predicate for this case was set last week by Kamala Harris. So in debate with Mike Pence, she was struggling for answers. He kept saying, are you packing the court? Are you going to pack the court? Are you going to pack the court? And she finally said, You want to talk about court packing? Let's talk about court packing. And then she randomly started talking about how there were no black judges appointed by Donald Trump, as though they love Clarence Thomas over on the left wing. But this is a fundamental redefinition of the term, right? Because when people are asking about court packing, they don't mean, are you filling existing empty seats? They mean, are you adding seats to courts to willy-nilly overturn the majorities that currently exist on those courts? Not a seat came open, and now you fill that seat with somebody. Instead, court packing typically means you add seats to the court. This is not a change in definition. It has been like this for 4 generations. During the debate, remember, I laughed openly at this when I reviewed the debate the other night. Kamala Harris tried to redefine the term court packing in the middle of the debate. You'll see Biden picked it up, then the entire Democratic Party picked it up, and then the media picked it up, which is normally the way this works.
Do you know that of the 50 people who President Trump appointed to the Court of Appeals for lifetime appointments, not one is black? This is what they've been doing. You want to talk about packing a court? Let's have that discussion.
Okay, that is not what packing a court means. Packing a court means that you add seats to the court. That is what it has always meant. So now there's this weird redefinition going on because they don't want to answer the question, in which we equate filling seats with people who are constitutionalists and originalists duly because the seat is empty and you get to nominate and confirm judges. We're going to equate that with adding 5, 6, 7 seats on the Supreme Court, which is crazy. Okay, so Joe Biden tried this line also. Right, here was Joe Biden saying the only court packing that is happening with conservatives, which of course makes no sense because conservatives are not packing the Supreme Court.
The only court packing going on right now is going on with Republicans in the court now. It's not constitutional what they're doing. We should be focused on what's happening right now. And the fact is that the only packing going on is this court is being packed now by the Republicans after the vote has already begun.
What the hell is he talking about? Filling a seat that is empty when you have a majority in the Senate is not court packing. That's literally the constitutional process. It is not adding seats to the Supreme Court. Okay, but this immediately gets laundered by the Democrats into the media. So you see Dick Durbin over the weekend, the idiot senator from Illinois who once compared American soldiers to Pol Pot. Here was Dick Durbin over the weekend on Meet the Press explaining that if you fill vacancies, this is now packing the court. Now, they think you're a moron. I mean, they do. They think the American voters are morons. Joe Biden openly says it. Voters don't deserve to know my answer on court packing. Also, court packing no longer means court packing. It means duly appointing people to open positions. Here's Dick Durbin trying to treat the American people as idiots.
American people have watched the Republicans pack in the court over the last 3.5 years, and they brag about it. They've taken every vacancy and filled it. Did you know that they've sent us, and we have approved only with their votes, I might add, 10 people who have been judged unanimously unqualified by the American Bar Association? Do you know how many judicial nominees came from Obama who were judged unanimously unqualified? None. So we are dealing with people on the court, packed into the court with little or no qualification, who are going to be there for a long time.
Okay, so this is incredible. So the entire activist left picks this up. The memo goes out. The entire activist left picks this out. Sam Berger, who is the vice president of Center for American Progress, he immediately tweets out, conservative court packing in one chart. And all the chart is how many judges were appointed by Donald Trump, which is 30, right? That is the number of appellate judges confirmed by the United States Senate between 2015 and 2018 is 30. And then he tweets out, conservatives' stealth court packing plan. Step 1, steal seats by blocking confirmation of judges until White House and Senate are under conservative control. Step 2, change the rules to appoint the most partisan conservative judges at breakneck speed. So number one, I'm really enjoying the redefinition of a judge who rules according to the law as a partisan conservative. Now, if you just do your job as a judge, you are a partisan conservative. You are, in fact, a wondrous human being if you look into your heart for empathy, the way Barack Obama described Sonia Sotomayor. But if you're a judge and you look at a law and you say, you know what, this law doesn't allow this thing, even if I would like it, even if it's a nice thing to do, then you're a conservative partisan. That is the way they've redefined what it means to be a judge. They've redefined the term judicial activism, and now they're redefining the term court packing. I hope you enjoyed that clip from The Ben Shapiro Show. If you did, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you stay up to date on all of our future content.